Hi everyone, what's up? Welcome to another episode with me, Shashank Udupa. And in today's episode, we are going to look at SIP now, SWP later retirement plan. Now, I have done a lot of videos on SIP with 1 lakh, SIP with 50,000, SIP with 5 lakhs, SIP with even 50 lakhs, right? So I have done all of this on how you make plans with different stuff. But then we never spoke about retirement plan. Like sipping now is fine, but when do we relax and enjoy life? That is what we're going to look at in today's episode, along with a lot of calculations. So be ready if you're going to have a look at it. This is the framework of how you basically do a lot of things. So let's get into it. So this is the retirement now plan, SIP now, SWP later. So I'm taking an assumption of that you are today 25 years of age. You have 20,000 rupees to start a SIP. You are going to step it up by 8% instead of 10%. Everyone takes 10% step up. I'm going to take only 8%. Why? Because I believe that some months you will not have a job, some months you will not be able to do step up, some months you might not get an increment in some years. So let's take a blended base case approach of 8%. And then we have 12% return, which is your standard index based return, 6% inflation, and you want to retire at 60. This is the assumption I've taken. Now, this is the worst case base assumption. Obviously, your assumptions will be much better than these numbers, okay? Because you might be investing more, your step up can be higher, your return profile might be higher. But I'm taking the absolute worst case scenario. So if you're just doing this, which is 20,000 rupees, you would have invested 4 crores in the next 35 years and your retirement corpus would be 24 crores and that would create a wealth multiplier of 6x. And the real corpus in today's inflation adjusted rate is 24 crores. Inflation adjusted today would be worth 3 crores, right? And that would be the final. So I'll show you how that comes out. So let's say current age is 25, retirement age is 60, SIP duration is 35 years, starting monthly SIP is 20,000 rupees. 8% is going to be your step up. Your final monthly SIP is going to be 2,73,000. Accumulation return is 12%, which is basically your return on investment. Starting NAV, let's assume we have taken a starting NAV of 10 rupees like a mutual fund. Inflation rate is 6%. And post-retirement return, let's say at the end of 60 years, I'm saying I will invest in a bond or I will invest in liquid fund or whatever, corporate bonds, government bonds at a blended rate of 8%. Or, fixed deposits will be higher, hopefully at that point. So let's say 7.5 to 8% is what we're looking at. Now, this is how we would look at SWP scenarios. Now, if I also took 3 scenarios, okay? 3 scenarios is, let's say I live till 60. Great, first job I've done very good that I live till 60. Let's say after 60, I want to remove my money and I might, conk off at 80. Let's say 80 years of age I want. That means I need 20 years of income. Okay. And I don't have any other income because I'm retired. So I need 20 years of income. Then I said, let's assume that for some reason I'm God's gifted child and I stay alive for 100 years. That means 60 ke baad, another 40 years of staying. So I need to plan, right? Do I have enough money for that? And then I did a third option and said, tell me how I can stay with this money forever, that compounded interest will take care of me, right? That means basically I have to remove less than what I make. Then I can have the money forever. So let's look at all those scenarios. So now it says, if I do this, which is that 24 crores at the end of lifetime, right, at 60, if I want to stay for another 20 years till 80, then I can take out 19,87,000 a month. Now don't get too overexcited because this is inflation rate. Okay, a lot of inflation has kicked in for 30 years, 35 years. So in today's equivalent, let's say today, as of today, it is worth 2,58,000 per month. So I have to ask my question today, that is 2,58,000 today in my approach a good thing, assuming I don't have any expense, I don't have any income, this is just for me and my wife, everyone else is taken care of. If the answer is yes, great, okay? And this will last for 20 years because the total withdrawn will be 47 crores and the corpus remaining will be 0, right? So this will last for 20 years. Let's say I go to 100. I told you, right? God's gifted child. 16 lakhs will be the monthly SIP that I will take. In today's situation, it will be 2,12,000 and the amount withdrawn would be 78 crores because what happens is the money will keep growing and I will slowly keep taking it out. Then I said, give me one situation where it's infinity, where I never have to withdraw. Right? And then it said, see, if that is the case, which is what most people will tell you, right? SIP, aaj karo, SWP, you will have money forever. Doesn't work like that because they don't take into inflation into account. If you do that, you can only take 3,80,000 according to this math, and your today's equivalent is 50,000. 50,000 aaj ke time pe kuch bhi nahi hota hai. And then your investment goes forever and your corpus is still at 24 crores. But that's not going to happen, right? So we will take the realistic scenario of 80, which I believe is the perfect thing. And it is easier to plan because think about it. I have did college, education, growing up, diapers, everything for 22 years of my life. So 1/4 of my life is gone there. The next bit of my life, which is the next 2/3 of my life, 25 to 60, has gone in working very hard day in, day out, 9 to 5, 9 to 7, whatever you can call it. And then the last 20 years when I really want to relax, right? I'm basically taking all the money that I made for the last 40 years to relax in the last 20 years. As you can see now, it's such a sad concept because in my prime years, I am working so hard to enjoy at the time when I can't even walk, right? So that is how life is, sadly. Perspectives of life has to change, but as of now, we cannot do that. So we'll plan for retirement because at the age of 60, I cannot go do bungee jumping. I can't do a lot of other things that I really wanted to do. And I'll be very old at that point, 60 to 70 to 80. So I'll have money, but what was the point of this money? But that's a conversation for a different day. How does the SIP accumulation happen? So monthly SIP, you start with 20,000. I strongly suggest increase the SIP faster and higher. As I said, this is the worst scenario, like the base case scenario, right? Best case would be better than this, but this is the worst scenario. So monthly SIP is 20,000. By the time you hit 60 years of age, your monthly SIP would have reached 2,73,000, which is absolutely wonderful. And your yearly SIP invested 2,40,000 in the start, your total investment would only be around 32 lakhs. No, sorry, not 32 lakhs. That is the not cumulative. Cumulative, it will be 4 crores. And you have your NAV that started at 10 rupees after 35 years at 12% compounded should be at 528. This is assuming this is index, right? So something that you invested at 10 rupees has become 528 rupees, which is superb. Right, very good compounding coming into the picture. Another year, this will go up even more. But that's how compounding works, right? And these are the units held every year, assuming I'm buying units at 11 rupees, 13 rupees, 14 rupees. I start accumulating units. At the end, I'll have 4,59,000 units at 528, which gives me 24 crores of money, right? And then this is my corpus, nominal real, and this is the gain. This is how much I've made money. And this is my wealth multiplier. Wealth multiplier is nothing but how much money I've got versus how much I've invested. Okay, so this is the X multiple that I've got. Now coming to SWP scenarios on how we withdraw this money. As I said, we have 3 different scenarios. I showed you all 3, but let us take scenario number 1, which I feel is the most realistic one, right? Corpus exhausted by 80. Now here, 19,87,000 or in today's value, 2.5 lakhs for someone who's old at the age of 60 is, I think, quite good because that's almost 25 lakhs in today's point, and you don't have any expense. You're just chilling because I'm assuming all your priorities are done. You are debt free. You have no more problems in life, and 2.5 lakhs is a great amount for that, right? You can enjoy with your grandkids and all of that. So from 61 to 80, if you're lucky, say, and your expenses in fact over time will reduce because the only thing you need money for is your medical expenses, right? The only thing you will need this money for is sadly to take care of yourself in a hospital. It's so sad, but yeah, that's how it is. So you're not going to enjoy this money is your hospital because nobody's going to give you medical insurance at the age of 60 to 80, right? Nobody's going to give you that. So you have to use this money and that gets depleted. But every month you can remove 19,87,000 at that time. Okay, imagine at that time 19,87,000 looks good today. I wish I had it per month, but at that time 19 lakhs would be equal to 2 lakhs. Can you believe? So today's 19 lakhs would actually be a crore at that time. Crore will have no value in the next 30 years, by the way. Just like how it barely has any value today. Earlier in your parents' time, 1 crore was a sapna. करोड़पति बनने का सपना था. उसके पहले लखपति बनने का सपना था. अभी करोड़पति तो very easily people are becoming, right? And because of inflation only they're becoming. Currency depreciation and inflation, you will become करोड़पति. So yes, so by the age of 80, you would have depleted all your resources, and that is equal to 23 crores. Whatever you made, you would have depleted it. And this is not a bad amount to have. 2.5 lakhs is not bad. Even if you take slow depletion, I think it's 2.12 lakhs. It is also not bad, and this goes for 40 years. So it's absolutely not bad. This is bad. You will not be able to withdraw 49,000 a month. You will need much more than that. So that means you know that if you want unlimited scenario, people try to do that. People say unlimited scenario chahiye. I said, why do you want unlimited scenario? In fact, front load your SIPs so that you can increase this 2,58,000 to maybe 4 lakh, 5 lakh per month, right? Even at the age of 61, you can live like a king. 5 lakh a month, you'll get monthly SIP, right? That is how I would plan it, right? Then I also said, okay, let's do a reverse math. Okay, reverse math. How much can you withdraw? Okay, so if I have 24 crores and how much can I withdraw today? This is what I showed you, 2.5, 2.12, 49. And basically the trade-off is more per month, faster depletions. The more you take, the more you withdraw, the less your corpus stands for, right? So always the main goal is to step up early, step up always, and never ever stop. The minute you stop, the minute you remove this money, you are losing compounding and you are playing a losing game. So I would never stop my SIPs. I would keep doing my SIPs constantly. Easier said than done. I agree to this point that it is easier said than done, but I would not do that. Again, by the way, I wanted to also, for all the people who are still watching now, if you are still here, if you guys are interested, we are doing a very beautiful webinar on the hospital sector in this weekend, right? So Saturday 18th of April, 7:30 to 9 p.m. we are doing a hospital sector mega trend webinar where we're talking about the hospital sector. We're talking about 4 different companies. One is a small cap merger play. One is a P-backed company. One is India's most capital-efficient hospital chain. So if you are interested to come sit and just learn, please do join. I would love to sit there and host it with you on 18th. And if you want more information, you can join the YouTube community here where we keep giving you daily posts as well. Awesome. Cool, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Just plan your life in such a way that you also enjoy a little bit. I know SIPs can get scary, but if you don't enjoy life, then what's the fun in living, right? I would do that. Chalo, this is me, Shashank Godapa, signing off. Take care. See you guys. Bye bye.